Okay, the little ongoing slow burning trash fire of Creator Clash 3. I do enjoy a little bit of Anisa and Idubbbz Iron drama, as I like to say. So Harley Morenstein, who I actually had to look this up. I had no idea, is Jewish, has announced earlier this week that he would not be fighting in Creator Clash 3. And he clarified, because his message is a little bit ambiguous. He says, I'm not boxing. It could be bait. He could be trying to hype it up like, I'm not boxing. I'm going to war. I'm proving my point. I'm not just fighting. I'm doing a lot more than that. So he doesn't sound like that, by the way. He sounds like a very gay Jewish man. He seems like a big guy, but then he talks like, yeah, I'm not fighting. So Morenstein left. And this is a really, really, really big deal. I'm sure many of you are already aware, but I might as well cover for posterity. He was the top build fight for Creator Clash 3, and I don't know if this is still the case, but when I checked, it was. He was still on the Creator Clash 3 website as the top build fighter. So on its own, that presents a very significant and easily avoidable problem for Anisa and for Ian. How are they going to replace this guy who's top build with somebody that people will actually want to see fight and would make an interesting fight with fans that they can bring to the event? At 6 weeks out, it's not going to happen. There's no way you're going to find anybody who's not already in fighting condition. And the number of people who meet that criteria on YouTube is very limited. So that's asking for a lot. But this was the result of him going after Ethan and taking the side of Palestine and Hamas in his videos. And it's like, whatever your opinion is of the conflict, I'm sure everybody would agree that if you're running a business that involves playing nice with people on both sides, that you need to do a better job of managing that, and ideally staying the out of it whenever possible. So the fallout of this was interesting. Someone brought this up. I believe this was first discovered on the forum. Is that Florida boxing is a very regulated competition. It's people punching each other and people do die. So the states each have their own very specific rules and regulations for how a boxing match can be conducted, promoted, and so on and so forth. So Florida has its own swath of regulations, and they are managed by the Florida Athletic Commission. And there are laws passed by the Congress of Florida that stipulate how these events must take place. And in particular, if we read this is a word I've never heard before, by the way. Awesome website, by the way, Florida. Don't use HTTPS at all. Why would we need to put a SSL certificate on our websites? So this is the pugilistic exhibitions. I've never, ever heard in my life the word pugilistic, but apparently it means of or about combat sports. So in the combat sport exhibition chapter of the Florida statutes, it says here, ticket refunds, upon the postponement, substitution of either participant, or cancellation of the main event or the entire program of matches, the promoter shall refund the full purchase price of a ticket to each person presenting a ticket for refund within 30 days of the rescheduled event. So already that's pretty devastating because many of the people that bought tickets are H3 fans who went out anyways. However, it gets way worse. Within 10 days after the expiration of the 30-day period, the promoter shall pay all unclaimed ticket receipts to the commission, as in the Florida Athletic Commission. The commission then, now having the money, shall hold the funds for 1 year and make refunds during such time to any person presenting a ticket for a refund. So that's already bad. So now the money that they made from this is not going to go towards paying people. It's going to be held in a trust fund by the Florida Athletic Commission for a year. So that's already terrible, terrible news for them. But then it gets even worse. Thereafter, the commission shall pay all remaining money from the ticket sales to the chief financial officer for deposit into the general revenue fund. So not only are refunds mandatory, not only will they take the money for a full year, it doesn't even matter how long they're taking it, because after the full year of holding the funds, it just goes into the coffers of the Florida Athletic Commission for their budget. So all that Creator Clash money right now, if this gets invoked, the Florida Athletic Commission is now just going to seize every dollar that they've made. And then here's the interesting part, and I would need somebody who's familiar with the law to interpret this for me and do more research for me. But there's a couple ways to interpret this sentence. It says, for failure to comply with this section, the commission may declare a promoter's bond or other security forfeited, suspend or revoke the license of the promoter, and impose any other penalty provided. Well, the promoter in this case, as I've looked up, is not Creator Clash. It is Market International Promotions, LLC, which is a single-member LLC owned by somebody named Irena Palma, which is a Greek name. I've never heard of this before, and it's a woman. So I've looked up Irena Palma, and I've looked up Market International Promotions, LLC in Florida. I can find zero web presence for this company. I have no idea who the fuck this is. I have no idea how the fuck they're the promoter for the event. And I have no idea how Aniza and Ian in California would have managed to get a hold of this person who doesn't do any advertising. So it really seems to me that this is a personal friend of theirs, or a friend of a friend. Somebody knows somebody who does the boxing promoter thing on the down low in Florida. It's not a big business. It's just her. And if they don't cough up that money, then it's going to be this person who has to eat the shit. And the bond, I did look this up, the promoter's bond that they put down, they actually have to pay the athletic commission amount of money to hold to assure that the event will go according to regulation. And they seize that bond if anything happens that is in contradiction to the event, the regulations. The bond the promoter has to pay in Florida starts at $15,000. But if there's any reason to believe that there might be elevated risk of mismanagement, the Florida Athletic Commission is at their leisure, is able to raise that price to whatever they want. So I don't know. I would assume that they probably just charge everybody $15,000. But that's the entry level amount of money that this promoter is going to lose if Ian and Idubbbz are non-compliant with this regulation. And obviously that's grounds for a civil suit immediately, because that's a lot of money to lose. That's enough to sue over, especially if the promoter is somehow left having to foot the bill for the tickets that they can't refund because they don't have that money. However, I have a different interpretation of this that I only thought about just now, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. So a big controversy in regards to Creator Clash has been that they are unable to pay for their fighters training. Lena, the woman from H3 that also dropped out, she complained several times that she pays out of pocket, and Idubbbz and Aniza have promised to pay them back after the fight. And I've always assumed that this was just because their budget is so tight, they don't have that ability until after the merchandise sales or whatever to pay their fighters. Now, I have a different interpretation. It may be that they don't get any of the money from the fight or the ticket sales until after the event has concluded. So it may be the case that the promoter actually has 100% of the ticket sales for Creator Clash, and the promoter is the one who's accountable for making sure that the refunds are managed. And now this is completely out of the hands of Aniza and Idubbbz, and the promoter might not actually be over anyways. Because that makes more sense to me now that I think about it, that the tickets are held in escrow by the promoter until everything goes according to plan, because it's not her responsibility to make sure that Morenstein doesn't drop out because of a hateful tirade against Israel. You know what I mean? So that would make a lot more sense to me. That would insulate the promoters from the financial responsibilities, and that's why the law would be written to target the promoters and not the people actually organizing the event, because they're the ones licensed. So they probably have a list of things they have to follow, like holding the money. So this may be completely out of their hands. And if the H3 people start complaining en masse to the Florida Athletic Commission that they signed up to see a couple fighters, in particular Lena and Morenstein was top billed, and now he's out, the Florida Athletic Commission is completely within their right to issue mandatory refunds at their discretion. And if the money is held by the promoter, then that's just gone. It's just gone. There's no ifs about it. There's no, maybe some people won't request a refund. It is mandatory refunds, and the people that don't request a refund are simply donating their ticket price to the Florida Athletic Commission for their budget. So if that's what it is, what a complete disaster. And I have a feeling, I don't like predicting what the government does, because the government and the court systems are very human and they have very different perspectives than a normal person embedded in drama like this. But I have a feeling that they will grant the refunds because, in particular, unlike with a lot of boxing events, where somebody might show up for, just a good time, and a substitution doesn't matter. In this instance, every single person who is participating in this fight is in some way adjacent to a popular creator. And there are many, many people, if not the absolute majority of people attending, who are actually fans of some of the participants. And them dropping out is actually really detrimental to why they bought a ticket. So it's not just that, somebody went to the fight to see the top build guy that they're a big fan of. It's that everybody there is there to see somebody that they know from YouTube. And therefore, the substitution or cancellation of any fight is significant to their grievance. So I honestly, I feel with that set of facts in mind that the commission will come down pretty hard on this, because this is a colossal fuck up, and it could have easily been avoided if the organizers didn't go on the internet and make a 10 million view video about how Ethan Klein is shit for supporting Israel. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I am. Yeah, Ice Poseidon too. So they've been trying to, apparently Idubbbz behind the scenes has been going down, trying to find anybody willing to substitute in to Creator Clash, including Ice Poseidon. And Ice Poseidon is one of those guys who's really into boxing. So he's like, surely, even though he's very controversial for a lot of different reasons I'm not completely familiar with. So Idubbbz asked him, like, hey, can you fight? And he says no. He says he doesn't want to be involved with that shit show. When Ice Poseidon, the godfather of IP2 and the shit show that is, when Ice Poseidon is like, no, bro, I can't touch that. That is a up. If you can't get Ice Poseidon in, nobody is coming in. Nobody is touching this shit. So it's doomed. This shit is and obviously Ian and Aniza are handling this with the grace and civility required. I am obviously just kidding. They are not. Let me pull this up. Okay, so first of all, the Reddit has locked down. Hannah Happer locked down the Reddit for Idubbbz, saying, addressing concerns, I first want to address our community. We're doing everything we can to ensure this space remains ours. We're removing brigading, harassment, and bad faith actors as quickly and efficiently as we can manage. Please be patient with us. We have autism. If you're part of our community and you think that we're caught strays from moderators, please reach out. In the meantime, expect us to see less locking posts and comments and requiring manual approval on a lot of user content. We'll get through this as a community, the same way we've gotten through things before. Don't forget that support is strong in the Discord. Oh boy, Discord, I've heard so many great things about that. Come hang out with the actual creators and fans. How is brigading denied? We did not invent this. We are held to this standard. Here is the site rules. Here's an admin's clarification. Perhaps more importantly is the post from the admin about Reddit's stance on bullying and harassment. To the users brigading, we hear your frustration. Brigading isn't a solution. Find an alternative. So they went to the Discord to find an alternative, and how we have Hannah Harper saying, hey guys, and everyone, a public statement will be made soon about Creator Clash from official channels. Bored, check out some content while you wait. And then he links to Maximum Damage, which is a really, really, really shitty podcast with Idubbbz, Aniza, and Uncle Dane. And if you don't know who Uncle Dane is, he runs like a multiple million subscriber YouTube channel about Team Fortress 2. And he does Team Fortress 2 videos, and he that's like his income. And for some reason, this guy has found himself roped in to like a cover by Aniza and Ian. It's like really bizarre. Like he stands nothing to gain from this. So that's the official channels. Meanwhile, by the way, so as you would expect, it's infested with shit and here's the Hannah saying, yikes at Finn at Moot. I wish we could turn off the kids. So at least Hannah is not cringe about this. Apparently they have some kind of bot. And the thing is that the bot creates anime characters that are your waifu. It's like a waifu generator, I guess. So you ask the bot for a waifu, and then an AI generates your waifu, and a lot of it is con. So this is the Git repository for. Oh no, this is what is the? This is Discord, and it says waifu claim. Okay, so this is the waifu claimer, and then if you search, you get 41 results. The Magic Academy of Succubi react with any emoji to claim. So I guess you can I guess it just makes characters. Lovin' making out with my younger girlfriend. React with any emoji to claim. This is Finn, who appears to be someone with a elevated status in the Discord, saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, where is the Connie aisle?" And then Han, who decried the con for whatever reason, posts bunny con. So I guess Hannah is in a conflict of position on what to take on the con generator tool in the Idubbbz Discord. Here we have some. This is Pink Blake. What a woman. Oh, another. What is it with these shoons? They must just really like the lighting in these women's restrooms where they're always taking selfies. The lighting must be. Can any women verify this for me? Is the lighting really, really good in these restrooms that these are always taking selfies in? Must be something about the lighting. Amelia Babe, she, her, staff moderator, Twitch subscriber, Plantain Squirrel, staff, Anisa alerts. And here we have Amelia Babe, quite the babe indeed. Krobus, they, them, 26-year-old, autistic, ADHD, queer commie, permanent crash out, fan of Germa. This is not a staff member, and this is Krobus. If I had to picture AU ADHD commie, that's about right. And then there's some talk about Kiwi Farms from last year. Selfies discourage. Kiwi Farms types just watch the server for stuff like that. Lie says, do they? I thought Kiwi Farms closed down. And then Han says, Kiwi Farms types. There's a ton. I think most are doing the lolcow train now. Pink Blake says, yeah, people like that just don't grow up when their sites get shut down. They're all really parasocial. I don't know. I think Idubbbz is my friend. I don't know why you're saying it's parasocial. I'm pretty sure that we have a long-standing relationship and we like each other a lot. Okay, let's see what the king and queen of this event are actually saying. Obviously, going to the Discord and the Reddit was a mistake. Check out the official channels. Here we have Ms. Jamha saying, I'm eating good today. The most popular reply to this is somebody saying, you really don't give a shit about your own event, Lamau. This was immediately after Harley had left the event. And then she posts some pictures of vegan cookies. So these look bad, but because they're gluten-free. Then Anisa announces that she's taking a trip on May 1st. She's going to Austin, and she's so excited with the girls. So the event is crashing and burning. There's no official statement, and the head actual promoter and organizer is taking an expensive vacation down to Austin, Texas from California for reasons unknown to anybody. And then in the distance, chat. And then in the distance, I hear something. Something so familiar, so strange to me, chat. Like a distant memory from a different time, chat. Just like an echo of the past. Girls, dogs, white girls, dogs, white girls, dogs. Don't worry, she's Lebanese. She's Lebanese, okay? She's not white, she's Lebanese. Lebanese girls, dogs, apparently. So this is what she says. This is the highlight of my year, if anyone cares. This is Hasan's dog. So Anisa Jamha got to tour the Hasan Piker abode, which, by the way, many people have pointed this out, and I guess I will too, to jump in on the train. She's down there getting dirty with the dog, having a good old time. This is the best thing she's ever experienced, ever in her life. You can see her hand. You can see her other hand. And you might notice, since right here you can see both hands, there is no ring on that finger. And not even a wedding band. Never mind like the actual engagement ring or whatever. And it's just like, did she take off her wedding ring to hang out with Hasan Piker? Did she just remove that so that Hasan would know? Is that like her like wink wink nudge nudge? Is it to Hasan or the dog that she took off the ring? I don't know. Really trashy. It's especially when you're around other men like that you would want your wife to be wearing her wedding band. To take it off is like, even if you don't wear it normally, that's the most appropriate time to put the wedding band back on. I don't think Hasan Piker would have sex with her. Like, she's not attractive at all. She's really busted. She's a busted potato. But she got to pet his dog, at least, you know. She didn't get to go with the guy she was actually for, but, you know, he did his buddy a solid and passed her along for him. Man's best friend, indeed. Meanwhile, what's Hasan been getting? Hasan got a fluff article from the New York Times about how influential he is, and how despite being such a great content creator with a really big audience, he does such a great job moderating his comments. He really holds his community to high standards. And then this is the picture. This is the picture that they used for the stream. By the way, anybody who eats on stream is a reprobate. You mean to tell me that you can't go on a stream without breaking out food? I honestly, I think anybody that eats on stream honestly despises their audience. It is so disgusting. So he's just chilling. He's got his Twitch chat on that monitor, and they're giving a good old fluffy to Hasan Piker about how great he is about managing his community. But let's take a little Zoomaruski chat. What does this say? Lionhead94 says, I'd this IDF bitch to death and make his mother shove missiles up her ass. Pussy ass bitches. This is in the New York Times article commending him for doing such a wonderful job of keeping out violent rhetoric and anti-Semitic rhetoric from his chat. So this is the team that Ian and Aniza sold out everything to join. This is the team that they think is going to win. Okie dokie.